Morning, good morning.
What's up, everybody? MAKUALOHA episode 6 going down. And this is a very special episode. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because this man right here, Darrick Doerner, is the reason that I'm a big wave surfer. I watched him my whole life, and he chose me when I was a young kid. I'm not sure why. He'll tell you that later. But there's a little gate down there. I used to come out. I used to watch these guys as a little kid, and I watched him dive off of helicopters to save people's lives. This is one of the best watermen I've ever seen in the history of the world. And if you don't know that, go and fact check it, and you'll see the facts.
Thank you.
Other than that, stay tuned. We're going to show you how, when, where, and why we surf big waves. And not only that, we're going to show you our equipment, how we do it, and what we use to surf big waves and to stay safe. Stay tuned. MAKUALOHA episode 6 coming right up. Boom! Shaka! Aloha, guys. I want to tell you a little bit about my jet ski, the equipment that we're going to be using on the jet ski, and why these jet skis were implemented into big wave surfing. So this is my jet ski right here. Kawasaki 300, these 1500 horses, or 1500 whatever cc's. Wish it was 1500 horsepower, but it was given to me by Monster Energy, one of the best sponsors in the whole entire world you could ever ask for. Thank you, Monster, for all the years of support and just backing me my whole entire career for everything I've done. So right here, Darrick Double D's got the
Look what I found.
oh, he's got my bow rope actually.
Yeah,
so
baby.
This is for towing the ski. If anything was to break down, we use this rope to throw to another ski. This hooks onto here like this. Come check this off. I got it off right now, but this is gonna go on here like so. And if there's another ski that needs to attach to it, we throw this so we can tow the skis out. This will go up in the front hatch right here. My tow rope right here. So Double D, give us a little breakdown on the tow rope. How these tow ropes come to be, since you're one of the creators of this sport.
Well, you know, at first we used to just use normal tow ropes, right? But the thing was we were so good at grabbing tow ropes that we would just wait for it to come to the very end. Okay? We didn't need these big giant ropes because we were so good at what we did. We would just grab the end of the rope and grab the handle. But along came tow surfers, and then along came the floating rope. And so what happens is some surfers grab the rope instead of grabbing the handle. And that's not good, because then the driver's got to go slow and then the wave can hit you. So Makua is really good. He just grabs the rope. But the reason why they have this big handle is it doesn't tear your hands. And of course the handle's good, so you don't get a screw through your hand with a nail or anything like that. So this is a really important component right here. And
it's also
and it floats.
it also helps for the average tow surfer. They don't run their rope over, because a lot of them don't really remember the rope when they get into bad situations. All they do is panic, and they usually suck the rope up, and then your ski's dead. So this helps fight against rope suck up. And if you get this part, there's a good chance you might get it in there. It might not go all the way, because once these ropes, before their ropes were skinny like this thing.
Oh yeah.
They used to use the jets, what is that? The wakeboard ropes, and super skinny. Once they get sucked in the impeller, it gets so hot and so fast, it makes like a PVC pipe in the impeller and just encases the whole thing, and you're done. You gotta take the impeller out, everything. So these ropes were created also to help not suck the rope.
Remind people not to suck a tow rope, but everybody sucks a tow rope. But this is really important. There's so many important factors going on with tow surfing. Remember, you're only as good as your driver. And I taught Makua from the very beginning. That's why he's such a good guy to tow, because he's smart. I don't have to talk to him too much. But so what we do is we got this little breakaway. I think we do, right, Makua?
Right.
So, and it fits right here, and then it goes right there. And so what it does is, if we get in a little bit of trouble,
or this wraps around my body, or gets stuck on something,
or we lose a ski or anything like that, we just pull this switch,
and this comes right out.
The rope comes off, and it's going to float, and then I can come in and find Makua or go on a rescue or anything.
And you know what? You know what's funny? Talk about losing the ski is, when I was young.
Oh, okay, go for it.
And I was learning. This sport was pretty much created like I mean, there were a few tows with Herbie Fletcher and those guys back in the day at Pipeline and whatnot.
Absolutely.
I imagine, but the actual sport of tow surfing, when it really came into creation, was out here with Laird and Buzzy and Darrick. So talk about losing the jet ski, right? When I was younger and I was learning.
How old were you about? 16?
I don't know. I think I was
14?
like 14 or 15. Yeah. And we were towing out here at Backyards, and these guys created this sport out here at Backyards. There's a few tows before, Herbie Fletcher and those guys, at Pipeline and whatnot, but the actual real sport of towing surfing, when it came to be something to be reckoned with, was created out here at Backyards by these guys. And we're towing out here at Backyards one day, and I told Double and told Bomb, and I remember being young, like, okay, I gotta get him. You know, we're talking how important it is, how important a good driver is. And so I come in, he catches this wave, I come in, I miss him. I'm like, and the next set, for some reason, was right there. I thought I'd have time to metal out a little bit, I can come back and get him, and the set came. And I was like so stressed because I was a young kid. I didn't want to leave him because at the time he was like God, you know what I mean? And I was like, I can't let him get pounded by this set. So I tried to go through the whitewash of the first one, and the whitewash must have been as big as my house. And I was just like, if I get over this one, I can get him before the next one. And I tried to get through it, and it was so big. I got into it. I thought I got through it. Next thing I know, the jet ski was upside down with me between the jet ski and the towboard, the sled. So we have a big rescue sled that goes here. And I thought I was gonna get crushed. Long story short, I got out of there, and next thing I know, I'm floating next to him. And then I'm like, well, what do we do now? And he's like, what do you mean, what do we do? We swim in. And bro, I don't know how far out we were.
A couple miles.
We're a mile out to sea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Ski gone.
Ski's gone. Can't see the beach. The waves are massive. We're sitting in the huge, it's like the perfect storm. And I'm like looking at the helicopter, like the helicopter's gonna see me, right? He's like, boy, just swim. I'm like, oh. So we swim from Backyards, for most of you that don't know, through Sunset Point, which is one of the most worst poundings you can ever get. I mean, Jaws, anywhere. Sunset on a big day will lick you like you've never been licked before. And lick me, not like this kind of lick. I mean like
The real
pounding kind of lick.
She's
But
gonna light you up.
long story short, we get to the inside bowl.
Oh,
And
boy.
he's got to, you can tell the rest of the story. He's
No,
got to
you
grab me. Because I'm, like
yeah.
I said, I was tripping. It's the first time I was in waves that big without a ski that far out. And it taught me a lot to really be patient. And to have someone like this that was like, wow, we got this. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Let's go.
Just swim. Just swim. We got this. You got your vest on. We're going to swim in.
We got
and
fins. We're good.
we got to the inside bowl, and it just unleashed on us. I mean,
I remember I went over and I grabbed Makua and said, let's go down now. And I held on to him. We made it. Long story short, that's what we trained for, you know. And
we got to the beach. There's the ambulance and the fire guys.
Oh, they already left.
Standing on the, they were there, and I guess they seen it was us,
And they went out.
and they left.
Yeah. Oh, that's
How's
Makua
that?
and Darrick. Oh, we're
Yeah,
gone.
they left. So somehow we get into Sunset Shore Break. We run back. Our skis good, and Ginsberg jumped on the ski and tried to save it. Went over the falls in the shore break and broke our handlebars off our jet ski. His jet ski.
And it was perfectly in good condition. It was just sitting there waiting for us. We could have just
And he
jumped on the horse and fired out of there again. And boom! We're like, oh. But
Yeah.
long story short, you know, that's what we train for. This is a real dangerous sport. It's a sport of kings, and he's a king. You know, tow surfing starts where surfing stops. And don't cross it up. You know, it was born through 3 sports. Big wave riding, which gets boring. Windsurfing, the outer reefs for lineups, and snowboarding. We combined all those sports and we made tow surfing, and it's the ultimate ride. But don't play with it. You know, it's a real dangerous sport and you can die. Running with Makua, it's like running with Laird or running with someone that's really top notch. So I have no problem playing with him, and I trust myself when him driving and me on the rope, which I hardly get on the rope anymore, but maybe tomorrow might change.
Well, stick around because we got a lot more information and stuff coming at you. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Boom, 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 boom.
This monster ski's the Tower of Power.
This thing's a monster.
Yeah, thank God they gave us one. Maybe they should give us another one because this one's pretty old. That way when this one breaks down, we got another one, but we'll see where that goes. Kawasaki's a good ski. This is the particular one's the Tower of Power.
Yeah, a lot of people like to ride Yamahas and all this stuff. I really like the Kawasaki. Kawasaki works unreal. We'll get a few more of these things if we can.
God, what's it gonna do to this ski? We replaced the motor mounts, we replaced the gas tank mounts, we fixed the handlebars, we fixed the leverage reverse. It's about almost $3 grand. And moral of the story is you try not to lend your skis out too much because they never come back the way you left them. Tomorrow ought to be really interesting. You know, we're not going to Piahi. Everyone's going to Piahi. This is where the sport was born, right here. We've got all the outer reefs, and of course we can launch right in front of Eddie and Makua's house. It's perfect.
I mean, Piahi, we love Piahi. Piahi is a spot that changed my life, and this is the guy that took me there. You know what I mean? And I was the first kid to really pioneer consistently Jaws as my, you know, big wave surfing as a career. There's Jay Moriarty, and he passed away real young, and it was us guys battling. There's Mark Healy and Jamie Sterling, and you know, they were surfing big waves, but Jaws, there was no other kids out there but me. And these guys crazy enough to take me over there and deal with whatever had to be done with my dad if anything was to happen to me. So
no, Eddie was always good, but boy, I tell you, that's the biggest, hollowest, most dangerous wave in the world, and the consequences are very heavy. I mean, it's quite a fight when you wipe out. So the moral of the story is don't fall off. You lose your turn. And so our strap crew and Makua came right along, and we taught him the do's and the don'ts. And he doesn't do too many don'ts. So that's really, really important. And if you do, it's called, what do we call that? The ride after the ride? Or the gravel truck?
Yeah, you don't want that.
It's definitely an out-of-body experience for sure. So we're gonna just drive all over the outer reef and say hi to our friends and say hi to some big waves. We're gonna get everything ready today. We got to go through some of Makua's equipment. We got to check on the fins. We got to check on his straps, his screws, his washers. Get everything ready today, so tomorrow we just walk out there, everything's perfectly organized, and we go. I think we're gonna have some players tomorrow, maybe Cole Rothman, Makua's brother. And maybe J.O.B. might show up with some funny stuff. John, yeah, it's just the boys. So hopefully
North Shore
you'll
boys
see us out there.
Damage.
We had this old guy, Flippy Hoffman, legendary waterman, surfer slash abalone diver slash hellman. One day he told us, you know, the ocean was made for pistons, and you got to match power with power. Can't catch a bicycle on a freight train. And so we started doing that concept of tow surfing, you know, and combining all the sports. Well, it got born. You know, one of the beautiful things about it is also we introduced the jet ski to water safety. And at first it was a little bit reluctant at the whole process, but what would take us 30 minutes takes us 30 seconds. These things in the right hands save lives, hundreds of people a year. And we're really fortunate to have ocean safety and certified lifeguards operating on the North Shore and on Maui and all the islands with these jet skis, because they save a lot of lives. Without the jet ski, oh boy, in these times, in these new worlds, people would be dropping like flies, disappearing all over the place. But in other words, when we go out there tomorrow, not only are we having fun, but we're also watching after everyone else. If somebody needs help, if somebody's in danger, we let them know, so we educate them. Maui's a different story. Nobody listens to anyone. Everybody's arguing, and it's so dangerous. Where here we maintain safety and we maintain authority, and you know, Puyo He and Alu, you know, group of men of the sea, and that's what we do. Make sure the plugs are in. Make sure you got a good driver and a good partner, and nothing will happen wrong. If you do it right, you just come right back to the beach and step off and go home and play with your kids. If you do it wrong, it's the ride after the ride, and it could be a very expensive mistake. And long swims.
These plugs right here on the back of this jet ski, it's probably, if I could say, the #1 mistake anybody makes on a jet ski is forgetting to put those plugs in. Everybody has done it at least once, I guarantee you. 100%.
You know, Makua went to Cloudbreak on that really big day, and he'd been traveling You know, he had to go to LA, he had to go to LA to Fiji. He got to Fiji, he had to get a boat. He didn't have the right tow board because Cole brought the wrong tow board. And shows up in the lineup and
Brought the right board, brought the wrong.
okay, so he drops into this wave, and you can go look at that wave. It's the heaviest wipeout I've ever seen. So Makua gets into the wave, and he's in the perfect position, and he's coming around the corner, and that would have made XXL, that would have made the tube of the year, that would have been everything. And he's got everything lined up perfect. He's in a giant 30-40 foot barrel, and his fins let go. And then it was the ride after the ride. But if you look at that photo, you'll just go, wow. Make sure your equipment is Top Gun. So what we're going to do today is make sure his equipment's Top Gun. And we got the Top Gun stuff, for sure. We got Dick Brewer's, we got Jerry Lopez's, we got Maui Fin Company fins.
We got a stretch.
We're dialed. And then you know what's going to happen today is after we do all of this stuff, then I'm going to go home and get my 9-foot gun and come back to Sunset and play there. So the reason why these boards are heavy is for a reason. When your boards are really light and you're going on the tow rope at 30-35 miles an hour, your board's going to want to float around a lot. So it takes a lot of energy to keep the board under the water. So what we did simply is we just made the boards heavier so that when you're towing behind a ski, you're more relaxed, so that when you do get to the wave and you go over the edge, you have all your strength. Because if you go over the edge and you've been fighting to keep your board on the water, you know, you're going to wipe out. So this is primarily why we made our boards heavy. And then also,
do they even float?
Yeah, they float good. And also, for like this one, Jerry, if these boards hit the rocks, they get destroyed, but you can still use them. You know, that they pretty much, the fins might get blown out, but this has got like 6 layers of cloth on it. And then it's got a custom Clark foam stringer. And Jerry made it for my birthday present last year, and it'll be the last tow board that I have. That's why I brought my board. I'm gonna rig this baby up. The last time we went to Piahi, it was Kai and it was Makua. Kai went on the rocks, and it was just me and Makua out there all alone. And I yanked him on a wave, and he didn't go left, he went right. And I was like, holy. When I got to the end, I looked over, and he was popping out of the barrel, and I went, okay. It's steady,
I was
Eddie.
going left.
We need to get a pad, and the only reason why we get these pads is so the strap doesn't twist. What happens when it twists and you're trying to get into your strap and you're on a 40-50 foot wave and you can't get in your strap because it's stuck on the toe because it twisted. So we get a strap. So
it also hurt. The board is so solid, and you're pounding on like this. Tomorrow might not be as bad because it's gonna be so smooth, but when you're pounding on the board like that, these boards are freaking, they're like, sounds more solid than the table, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're pounding on that all day, it hurts the bottom of your feet sometimes.
I think this is the one we did change.
Yeah, we redid it, remember?
Yeah, we
Because
moved
look,
it up.
this is where it was, and this is where we put it
Yeah,
now.
we put in, because he needed to get, he was a little bit too far back on the board, and I think feet placement is really important. So
Yep.
check these things out. Flip that baby over. We got to get a pad. So this is, you won't see this anywhere, but this is what we do. These are Maui Fin Companies. Remember these, Makua?
These are Kai fins, huh?
Oh, those are the double D's that turned into Kais. These are Maui Fin. And then check what we do here. And this is the board that Makua rode last year. And it's scary. Okay. Okay. And then we put, these are usually the fins are backwards, the big ones are in the front, and the little ones are in the back, but I wanted the little ones in front to steer the board.
You got them in? Good?
Yeah.
Sure?
And then I want the big ones in the back.
See, a little rubber mallet comes in handy.
Oh, these fins are so tight. And Mr. Lopez, Jerry's an equipment specialist. Every single thing that he does is thought through perfectly. So fin boxes, glass jobs. There is no equipment failure for Jerry Lopez.
And you see the difference is that's a quad setup. My boards, I still like the old-fashioned thruster for me.
Yep. And
Solid as it comes. There's no
hesitation.
squirreling out. I know that if I gotta get from here to there that fast, that I'll be there. So, see this right here? You see all these weights? That's for weight. See that?
Yeah, those are all weights. Ooh. We were so advanced at one point that we started.
These are aluminum fins.
Really thin, you know,
Really thin, really fast, really f you up. Excuse my language if you get cut by these things. I don't even know how many of these fins are still in existence today.
We don't make them anymore.
But
You will die.
I'll tell you what, these things are not.
We don't make those aluminum fins anymore, so they don't get in the wrong hands, because it will kill you. That'll cut your leg off for sure.
This board is sick one too.
Yeah, it is.
So stretch. Ooh, really like the thruster setups. But if we go to a place called Himalayas, so I'm going to use this board as a quad setup, that board as a thruster setup. Quad meaning 4, thruster meaning 3.
And he's just flying down the face of a giant wave, and we call it Ant-Man. This tiny little guy just going bing, 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 bing. And he would make it right out of the channel, right by you at 6 in the morning. He'd just be going, oh, heavy. Now they're all paddle surfing. I just don't get it, you know, because Piahi was made for, you know, riding the ultimate wave, and it was made for tow surfing, and now they're paddle surfing it. And sure, there's guys getting beautiful waves, Shane Dorian and Twiggy and these guys, but they're going straight and barely able to really monopolize the wave. So along came the tow board, and we're just doing these giant cutbacks and off the tops and flying through the air, and we're just playing with it. I just don't get it. Meanwhile, we're gonna go have fun tomorrow. We're gonna teach the kids, and remember, it's not what you've done, it's who you are. Shaka.
I'm going to show you guys a little bit about our flotation devices. This is called an impact suit. So this is a wetsuit with the flotation built into it. This has derived from a regular life vest, which you would wear on a, I don't know if I have one hanging up here, which you would wear on a boat, any life vest, any kind of boat that you've been on. This is the updated version of a surfing life vest. So we wear this keeps us afloat. If anything was to happen, this is just extra flotation on our body. Then we put something like this, a Patagonia flotation vest. A guy named Shane Dorian was flying, I think, one day on the airplane, and you know how they say you pull down on the red tabs? So we made a surfing version. This is the version. It has the release system. This goes up, a pin drops down, pops a cartridge. This cartridge goes in here. You pull it, poof, and it blows up. Long story short, it brings you from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the ocean. And yeah, so this goes on first, this goes over it. It goes through these holes and clips on the front. Your tabs will then be right here. So I'm going to give you guys a little taste of what it looks like when we blow one of these cans. Mana, come here. I'm gonna give you guys a little sample, a little demonstration of how this works. So we got Mana Nalu here. He's probably gonna use this thing, so he's gonna have to learn how to do it. Mons, give this a pull down, and we'll see what happens. Pull it. Yank that thing, bro. So that is what happens when you pull your vest. and you inflate these. Come over here. You can see this is the release valve. I don't know if you can see it. So that's a smoking can, and you can see this thing's holding pressure perfectly. It's always good to test your equipment before you go out. Come here. I don't know if you can hear this, but bring over here. See if I push on this. It's a self-regulating decompression. So I pull this, and this is how we deflate. Because if you're super inflated and you try and go under the next wave, you're just gonna be like a ball at the top. So you want to pull a little bit, but we leave air in here with our float. So when we get pounded by the next one, it helps us. Helps us. And then when we get back to the boat or wherever we are, we deflate this almost all the way. You usually cheat them a little bit and leave a little extra air in there for the next time. And yeah, so there's 4 of those. We get 4 shots, and hopefully you don't have to use all 4 shots in one go. The suit can only hold so much air. It will not pop. A self-regulating release valve will release the air that cannot be held inside of the bladder. And yeah, that's basically in a nutshell how these flotation vests work. There you go. So this is the actual replica board of the board that I caught a 66-foot wave at Jaws. This is a Jerry Lopez 6.6, believe it or not. I rode a big board that day, and thank goodness I did, because that wave was a monster. Yeah, this is the board right here that changed my life forever, or the replica of it. The one that actually caught the wave was pounded on the reef, smashed up into pieces, and I had a replica made just to hold and feel. Same airbrush and everything, because I wanted to remember that wave and the wave that changed my life. And yeah, so tomorrow when we get out there, we're just gonna go have fun, like I said. Pass on some knowledge to the kids. We'll have some fun with the guy who taught me and helped me be who I am today. And I hope you guys out there can do the same. Have a wonderful day. Aloha.
Let's do this. Here's what we used to do. This is a good one. So you're gonna put my elbow here. I'm gonna lay it down, and I'm gonna go double shaka. 1, 2. And that's about where his heel's gonna be. So what we did is, okay, so we're gonna put it right about there, and that's where his heel's gonna be. That was the old thing that we did just by, I guess it was just windsurfing. What happened was, before, Makua's strap was a little bit too far back, so when you let go of the rope, he's not able to gain that momentum to drive, and so we changed that.
I'm gonna take that off, so modify this Astra deck pad.
Yeah.
Like so.
That way he can get a little bit more leverage, so he can bend down lower, so when he goes over the edge, you know, low is pro, and if your foot's in the wrong spot, it's not a comfortable feeling, because the wave can come and just mow you. So tomorrow, for example, we'll go out and catch one wave, and if that strap's not in the right spot, this board's coming to the beach real quick, and then he'll jump on another one just like that. If it's in the right spot and he's flying along the waves and doing giant cutbacks and jumping and doing everything, gonna fit like a glove, then he's gonna feel comfortable through the whole session, and then he's gonna come back and eat some food and hydrate and maybe tow some other people around and have fun with it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Double D knows, he's been doing with me for a long time. You know, like I said in the beginning, this guy is he's pretty much the reason that I surf big waves, and his knowledge and everything that he's taught me. I mean, he's took me from a boy like this right here, 12 years old, you know, to becoming a big wave world champion. And you know, this swell's a little more special to me than most. You know, I could be going over to Jaws and being like, look at me, look at me, look at me, where I get the chance to serve, I get the chance to pass off my knowledge that was passed from Darrick to me, to my nephews, you know what I mean? And this boy right here really wants to surf big waves, and he likes to charge, and what better way to really solidify what you do instead of look at me all the time. You know, it's passing on the knowledge to the next generation and helping them achieve their goals like he done to me. And you know, I think that's way more special than catching another big wave or a barrel or whatever I could have done at Jaws this well. Way more important to me in the future of our Hawaiian surfers is to help pass on the knowledge and be there for the ones that need you guys most. So anybody out there that has the chance to pass on the knowledge and anything that you guys can do, sometimes we gotta, like Darrick said, it's not about us all the time, it's about the next generation and and sharing our mana'o, our mo'olelos, our stories, and everything that we've become, and help the next generation. So you guys stick around. I'll see you guys after the big swell. Hope you guys enjoyed the boards, the stories, the straps. I'm gonna finish up my straps, get my boards done. You guys get ready for the swell. I love you guys. MAKUALOHA episode 6 out. Boom. What's up, everybody? Thank you very much for watching MAKUALOHA episode 6. But don't forget, tomorrow, December 4th, Paradise, my new single, coming out on all your streaming platforms. Go and get it. Mahalo.
I found paradise on your back.